Hello, everybody. I want to talk today about the cost of owning versus renting and cut through a lot of the noise that's out there in the media because there's a focus on just the monthly payment. And this is a big mistake. If you're an investor, or even if you're not an investor, you need to hear what I have to say here because it is so important. I've got a graphic that's associated with this video from the Visual Capitalist. That's where I'm taking this data from. It's anecdotal, but it's very important. So in the graphic, you can see that the cost of ownership has been rising, particularly recently, and versus renting, the cost of renting is also rising, but at a slower pace. It always tracks what's happening in the ownership market. But right now, there's a big disparity between the cost of owning per month and the cost of renting per month. Both are high, maybe historically. But what I want to focus on here is that this is a bad graphic in the sense that it only takes into account one thing: monthly rent expense or monthly home ownership expense. And there's a lot of other things that go into real estate investing that are benefits, many benefits to property ownership that are not included in this graphic of just monthly cost, monthly expense. So if you're not a property owner, you should become one because there's so many benefits to ownership instead of renting. Let's go through a few of them. Number one, you gain equity when you pay down your mortgage. So even though you've got a mortgage expense, part of that is going to pay down your equity, and you're building your equity over time. The faster you pay it down, the faster your equity rises. The other thing is, of course, that you've got appreciation in the property. And if you take care of it, and you buy in a decent location, or you fix it up, or you do anything, you've got the ability to take advantage of the market rising if you do nothing, but you can also use the control over your property to increase the value. You can add on to it, you can put in another bedroom, another bathroom, update the kitchen, do all these things that have a significant upside to you as the owner of that property, whether you're an investor or just a homeowner, right? So that's another one. So control over the property is a big, big benefit, that you have the ability to be the master of your fate rather than, be under the auspices of a landlord, right? If you're just a tenant. So you want to get into the investor position, the owner position at all times. You also have a lot of security by owning a property. So you won't lose your home, right? Just making your payment, it gives you another asset to work from, and you can use that equity for funding other things, right? You can borrow against it. You can move that equity to another property. You can move up in the market, right? There's a million things, but that asset provides a lot of security for you and for your family, right? So that's another one. You also get a lot of tax benefits from ownership, whether it's a single family home, you write off that mortgage interest, or it's an investment property. Again, you write off that mortgage interest. You get a depreciation deduction. You get to write off your repairs, right, in certain ways. So talk to your accountant, right? But there's all kinds of write-offs you get as a property owner. And it's really, really important to use those tax advantages. Not only to say that, but your tenant as an investor is paying all these things for you. They're paying your taxes. They're paying your insurance. They're paying the maintenance. They're paying for the appreciation. They're paying for the mortgage pay down, right? You as the investor are getting all that benefit, and you really need to maximize that for yourself. One of my professors at the University of Miami remarked over and over again that he has the luxury of serving as a professor and doing a lot of pro bono work because the home he bought back in the day is now worth tremendously much more. And that gives him a lot of security, gives him a nest egg, gives him a lot of things he can do financially that he's got flexibility on that he wouldn't have if he'd been a tenant the whole time. All right. You also get tax sheltered growth. If you got your money in the market, you're going to pay taxes on those capital gains all the time. But inside real estate, it's a tax deferred situation, and you can even defer that further with a 1031 exchange. We can help explain that to you if you don't understand what I'm talking about. If you don't want to exchange, you can refinance your money out. So you got all this equity increases and you don't want to sell the property. Just refinance that money out and take it to the next property. A lot of people call that the BRRRR financial analysis and the strategy: buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat, right? So you got all those BRRRR, right? Refinance your equity out and go to the next project, or and reinvest it in some other way. So there's all these different kind of things that you get. And as an investor, you get a leveraged return. So maybe you're putting 30% down, but you didn't put 100% down. You've got only 30% down, or maybe less. And maybe when you improve that property, you'll refinance that out. And this is a big strategy for sophisticated investors. And there's a lot of projects that are developments where you can put in your down payment as an investor, and they'll build like an apartment complex or whatever it is, or warehousing. And then once it leases up, the values increase so much that you can refinance all your equity out. You have zero down. This is possible on a single family home as well, or duplex, or small apartments, whatever. It's the same idea and follows the BRRRR strategy I was just talking about. So many investment opportunities and so many benefits to ownership. And you get most of these as an investor. You get most of them as just a property owner itself. So look at not just the monthly cost, look at all the benefits that we're talking about. Hope that's been helpful. Have a great day.